Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I am Frank.
And I'm Peter.
And he's Peter. So today we're going to be talking about Olivia Colman. She's pretty awesome.
Olivia Colman.
Yeah, don't act surprised. Ooh, like you're surprised. Of course we knew.
Well, we knew it because we had to do homework for this.
So,
but I am happy.
She's great.
She's
fantastic. She really is.
We got a question from one of our faithful viewers/listeners,
nice.
And Heather posed this question.
Thanks, Heather, for writing into the show.
Thank you, Heather. So I'm going to pass it on.
All
and
right.
the question was, what is your favorite fake movie? And by fake movie, I think what she's referring to is when we're watching a movie, and sometimes there is a movie within a movie.
Yeah,
we never see the finished product, or there could be an ad or a trailer referred to within a movie, and you go, oh, that might not have been a bad movie to really watch.
Right.
Anyway, so what's your favorite fake movie? We'll talk about that.
All right, so I'm going to make sure that my watch doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
So there's that little bit of behind the scenes
little housekeeping there.
So
why don't you start with
I will start with Olivia Colman. So I'm going to start with her in Fleabag.
Mm-hmm.
That series that's just so incredible. If you haven't seen this, see it, folks. It's such a great series. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. And it is, she plays sort of the stepmom to Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her sister. And she is such a bitch. But she's like one of those sort of nice, she's this pretentious artist that, marries the dad, and she's so like, you just want to smack her in the face. She's so not, violent, domestic violence way. She's just not, she's so like, and she's so biased against like the Fleabag character, because you never actually find out her real name. It's just Fleabag. So the Phoebe Waller-Bridge character. So she's going to paint a portrait of Fleabag and her sister. So they're both facing her, and Olivia Colman's just like, all right, so now you just turn around a little bit. So she turns, and basically she has her turn around so her back is to the portrait. So she's just she's so awful and mean. And it's such a great role because you hate her. She's so awful. She's one of these pretentious artist types who's just like, she does this art exhibit that has to do with her sexuality, and she's taken a picture of herself naked every year since she was 12 or some shit like that, right? She's taken like plaster of Paris models of every penis that she's ever been around. Yeah. So like they're on a wall, like displayed on a wall in plaster, and she's like, "Can you find your father?" She's like, "God, I hope not." But fantastic show, fantastic role. She's so incredible in it. It is it's really fun to watch. My next one would be The Favorite. Mm-hmm. So. She's really great in that. She's so, she's such a sad character, kind of, because she's just this pawn, and she's so manipulated between these two other women. Emma Stone. For some reason, I wanted to say Emma Frost because that's not a thing. But Emma Stone.
I think Permafrost is the thing, but
Emma Frost isn't she?
No.
She's a Marvel character.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've not been awake very long. So, so Emma Stone and Margot Robbie are just sort of like...
Rachel Weisz.
No, it's not. It's Margot Robbie, isn't it? No, I'm wrong.
No, it's Rachel Weisz.
No, I'm wrong. I'm thinking of the other movie where Margot Robbie's in a big, weird wig. Yeah. So, no, it's Rachel. It's Rachel. So, I just keep picturing... Yeah. So, but Olivia Colman is just so manipulated. Yeah. She's like this ping pong, and then just playing with her emotions and talking about power. And they use sex and ego and just
Yes.
to find favor with the monarch, and it is just it's just awful. It's just what they do to this woman is
I
so
know.
mean.
She's like prematurely dowdy in this one. She's
Yeah.
just this, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and she's just but I mean, she wields her power like over them, but
Yes.
she's being played more
Oh.
than she
Oh,
plays
yeah.
others. So,
Yeah.
and but it's really fun to see that. But I think one of probably her best performance to date is in The Father. That is such the movie as a whole
Haunting.
is haunting.
It is.
And it really does this. It's no real spoiler. It's just kind of the story about a man's descent into dementia, and she plays the daughter. So Anthony Hopkins is amazing in it. Olivia Colman is amazing in it. How they directed it and how they
play with their mind.
They play with your mind, and it gives you this like very disoriented kind of feel. Like
it really makes you feel as if you could be suffering.
Yeah,
from
and
dementia.
it's really
you get this firsthand feel of it.
And it's everything is as simple as like the turn of a camera will completely change your perception of what's happening, and like in a room, and it'll change time and where people are, and it's
everything. On
and
that
she
one.
is so great in that. She's overburdened by this. She's overwhelmed by it all, and she's trying really hard to maintain him in his home, and he really wants that. He just won't go, and he's just
and then if that even is the situation,
right,
is that his home?
Yeah, because you don't know. It's just so.
Is she married? Is she divorced at this point? Is she want to move to Paris to be with the boyfriend? Everything changes because he's not remembering.
And it's so interesting because it is. You think because she's the one who's like dealing with all this. Yeah. You think that this movie's sort of taking place from her.
It's going to be from her point of view,
but it really, it's really not.
No.
So it's fantastic. So well directed. She's amazing in it. You get really sucked into what that's like to care for someone going through that.
Yeah.
And I remember when my grandmother had Alzheimer's and was going through that. It is it's sad to see someone you care about sort of deteriorate like that. And this is probably, there have been a couple of movies out there that have, tried to do this, but I think this is probably one of the better depictions of it. So, but Olivia Colman, she's funny in Fleabag. She's, oh man, she's so, again, dowdy in The Favorite.
It's those are all great picks. She's wonderful. She's versatile, definitely.
Yeah,
and
she's great.
And she has a lot of like BBC TV stuff.
Oh God, so much
background. And but we overlap on two of our picks.
Oh wow.
And I'm just going to jump in with the Father, where she plays Anne, a daughter of Anthony Hopkins' character. And I that movie, it's, I don't know, maybe more than a year that I've seen it now.
Yeah. That
movie haunted me, and I actively thought about that movie every day for probably a month. I just kept thinking about, my God, Anthony Hopkins really, that's one of the finest acting performances I've ever seen. And there was there was a real big, maybe sentimental, if you want to call it that, push for Chadwick Boseman to win the Academy Award. But as soon as you saw this movie, you're like, oh my God, I don't think anybody can beat Anthony Hopkins. This movie, this is one of the finest acting jobs I've ever seen on film.
Yeah, it was.
It's amazing. But on the other side of it, not his foil, but on the receiving end of him and his dementia and sometimes anger and petulance and everything else that he's going through to cope is Olivia Colman as his daughter, or a surviving daughter, because we think that there was another daughter who died prematurely in a car accident, and you're trying to put pieces, because he does remember that, but not completely, so we're not privy to too much information. And the Olivia Colman character, just like, overwhelmed, and she's trying to deal with her own emotions, and sometimes that is, leads to anger, definitely frustration, and you just see how she's trying to cope. Try to visit him every day, but she's trying to have her own life. She's a woman, middle-aged, if you want to call her that, but she's still in the prime of her life, and she's just trying to
have a life.
Trying to have a life. Maybe have a relationship. We don't even know, because sometimes she's married in his mind. Sometimes she's divorced in his mind, and sometimes she wants to leave to pursue a relationship that might take her to Paris, or at least out of the country anyway. And it just adds more burdens to her, and it's just scary and frustrating on her part, and it's just a wonderful performance.
Yeah.
And it really hits close to home if you've ever had anybody go through this, or just even makes you think about your own physical well-being, thinking, oh my God, could that happen to me? What's going to happen to relatives who may be stuck with me if I get to be like this, or whatever? And so tremendous, wonderful. A second one, the other one we overlap on, is The Favorite. She's Queen Anne, and who is a historical character, but they spice things up, change things up a little bit, and it's just she has all of this power. She's just bored and completely uninterested. So if it looks like some of her ministers might want to lead her to war because it's going to, in theory, help the country, she's not so interested because she's just not interested. She's this dowdy thing, and she doesn't care. And then she's caught in this weird triangle between two strong-willed women who want her attention. They want to be the favorite, and they're at all costs. They are trying their best to turn her and her attention to one of them and against the other.
Yeah.
And it's just, and she's just so, in one sense, beaten down because she's lost children in the past, so she has no heirs, and she's just squandering her day by playing with rabbits or watching ducks race or something, and she's just doing things to fill her day because she just doesn't really have any interest in anything else. And she's on the throne, and she doesn't really have any interest of being there. She still has a lot of power. She doesn't, or she wields it kind of mercurially in a weird, when the spirit moves her, she'll, kind of take a stand on something. But it's wonderful to see this range of emotion.
Yeah.
She's a pawn, like you said, in so many respects, but then she isn't a pawn. And then she tries to make them a pawn. It's wonderful. It's wonderfully done.
She's great.
And it's a great thing for if you're into, costumes and all that stuff. It's wonderful to watch for that as well. Wonderfully directed. And it's great because there's essentially, there are other actors in there, but the three main actors, by far the three main actors, are all played by female leads, really, pretty much. One is obviously the lead.
Yeah.
Queen Anne, Olivia Colman, is the lead, and the other two are more supporting, but wonderful performances, all three.
From everybody,
put a really good show on for us. And that leads me to my third one, and this is my third pick is the first time I really saw her in a movie, and I said, this woman I got to keep an eye on this
All
woman
right.
because she's got the ability to be just funny and sly. It's Hot Fuzz. She is the only police constable in this small town's police force. And she's got these foul lines and double entendres because she's trying to keep up with the boys, but she really is.
I totally forgot she was in
You
that.
got, yeah, if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, it's a wonderful movie. It's, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Yeah.
That's one of their little comedy things. And, what's Edgar Wright? Is that
I
the
think it's
director?
Edgar Wright, yeah.
Edgar Wright. And so they've done that trilogy, the Cornetto Flavor
Right.
trilogy, whatever they call it. They have their own name for their work. And this is the middle one, Hot Fuzz, where they're police. And Simon Pegg is just this straight arrow. Does everything perfectly, studies up on police
Yeah.
procedure in his spare time,
He's
a
the
wonderful person,
British
nice
Joe
guy.
Friday.
He's got to do everything right, and he gets reassigned to this tiny community because they can't stand him anymore in London. He's just like, will you stop it? And he's just too much for them there in the big city, so they send him off, and one of the members in the police force in this small town is Olivia Colman. She's the only female member of the force, and it's just funny. She'll just, I can't even really repeat some of the lines because it's just that sort of a thing. You just got to watch it, and she'll just say stuff off the cuff, or someone will say something, and she'll just respond in a dirty manner, and then it's just funny. She's not in a lot, but when she does have something to say, you're like, "Ooh, did you just say that?"
Yeah.
And I just love her. And I remember when I watched the movie, I said, "All right, I got to check the credits out just to see what her name is," because at that point, I wasn't watching, say BBC current shows, and I just didn't know her.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I got to," and then all of a sudden, it's like she's in some fine dramatic work and other stuff, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is the same woman." Hot Fuzz was a joy for me to see her character.
Yeah.
Doris Thatcher, Police Constable Doris Thatcher. Yeah, great stuff.
Fake movie?
Yeah, we had a
Fake movie.
great
All
question
right,
from
so-
our loyal viewer, listener, Heather, and she said, favorite fake movie, which is actually, I'll be honest, I'm ashamed that I wish I came up with the question
That's a
after
great
she
question.
said it. And I was like,
So I would probably, I guess I gotta go Machete.
which actually was made into a movie because it was so good.
Which they ended up making
Yeah.
into a movie.
Yeah.
So the trailer, one of the trailers from Grindhouse,
Yeah,
got so much. I mean, there were a couple
it
of
gets some good
those
traction.
trailers in that, and
Yeah.
the Machete one got some traction. And they turned it into a real movie. But like movie within a movie, I would maybe the movie like the well, it's not really quite a movie that they're making, but it's they're using movie people. It's in the movie Wag the Dog
Mm-hmm.
when they're using like
With the,
that movie sort of I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Like movie procedures, or they're using
trappings
movies,
or movie,
yeah,
yeah.
to sort of fake a world crisis or something like that. So that's pretty funny because it really does feed into my general cynicism about politics and politicians and stuff. So I kind of like that one. So those were the two that.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
I
that
got to
come
be
mind.
honest. When she asked, all of a sudden I started thinking, which is why it bothered me. I said, "Oh, I wish I thought of this," because I started
What did
thinking.
you-
I started thinking of like a couple right away. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!
So,
Oh yeah!" And
what
then
do you
there's
got?
this one. All right, I had Thanksgiving, which is from
Which is from
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse.
That
yeah.
were there. I said, "Oh, I'd like to see about this." Grace Pilgrim?
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
going around? Like, what? Anyway, but it just like kind of landed in my head as like, that's goofy and crazy enough. The Thanksgiving with the pilgrim in it. Anyway, so I thought of that one. Another one of my favorites is if you want to go a little X-rated and on the blue side, you could go log jamming from the Big Lebowski. Really? But it's
well, there's also the movie that the porn that they're making in Zack and Miri.
Yeah.
You know, like a porno. It's like that whole. They have a whole Star Wars thing going, and then all their stuff gets stolen. So
and the other one is I would like to see. Although they are making a movie in Tropic Thunder, I would have liked to have seen Simple Jack.
Simple Jack, yeah.
Because he is so famous in Southeast Asia apparently because of the Simple Jack movie. Just to see it, just to say, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And then that little one which I think it has a real title within the movie. When you watch Home Alone, where he keeps taping the thing, Angels with Filthy Minds or Angels with Filthy Faces, or
where he gets the old,
keep the change, you filthy animal. Yeah,
because that's not a real movie.
That's the movie. It's a fake movie that they reference, or he, excerpts all the time.
There's another movie.
There's a few of them out there.
What's the movie? Great. It's with. I want to say that William H. Macy is in it. Is it State of Maine? There's a movie that they're making in some small town. I think Bill Macy's in it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
can't
do.
remember the name of it.
I'm not going to remember that either, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then there's like ones that you'll see the premise of the actual movie is making a movie or something like that one. So those are always you'd be like I wonder what the finished product really could have looked like.
Yeah.
So those are always fun. That was a great question because it just takes you into this alternate reality, alternate universe for us. That's
what are we going to talk about next time?
I don't know. Let's take a look and see. We haven't talked about Ethan Hawke in a long time, so maybe he's in there. Well, now I'm curious. Okay, you're just like what? You're gonna go?
No, I'm fine. It's good. I'm fine. All right.
This person's
good. No, that'll be good. It'll be good. All right, folks. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope everyone's having a great. What is this? February? Something like that. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So wear a mask, drive safely, and all that good stuff. Bye bye.
Take care.